What we've got is a Nissan Silvia with a R32 Skyline front on it. We've just done the LS swap at the start of the season, and that seems to be working out pretty good for us. Yeah, it's making pretty consistent power and keeping it right up through the rev range. So she's pretty much everything underneath it's aftermarket from Japan and all around the world basically. She's doing 300 and something kilowatts. She's all tube frame, front and back, everything fiberglass, all the panels are fiberglass. Built the whole thing myself in my garage round at Lomoco Racing. Today it's just a bit of a tweak up really, get the car, make sure it's just on song, because these engines do wear out, they get a hard life. So every so often we have to get it retweaked, and hopefully it makes some good numbers.
Okay, so what we've got here is a Nissan S14 fitted with a GM LS1. This car is a drift car, quite competitive. We're going to be running it up on the dyno, not just to look at power, but we're also going to make some alterations later on in the afternoon. The fuel system's been changed, surge tank, additional fuel pumps and whatnot. We're just discussing the actual fuel pressure. This car is, to make this engine work in the Nissan body, it's actually been changed so that it runs a return fuel line, whereas GM, when they put them out, run a return list system. So that's just what we're discussing at this stage. But as you can see, pretty much everything on this car is modified. I guess the windscreen and the body, to an extent, are the only things that are really stock in it. The next round of upgrades on this car will see a bigger camshaft go in it to really give it a lot of top-end power. The diff ratio that it's running with the GM manual gearbox, it's running a Nissan diff, but it's running a GM gearbox. It's really calling that for the faster tracks for drifting, because it calls for so much torque to keep the wheels spinning constantly, 255s on the rear, that we really want to increase the power output at that top end range. So yeah, we'll put a fairly hefty camshaft in there and probably see the power lift quite dramatically and change the behaviour of the car a lot. And I would expect to see somewhere in the vicinity of sort of 270 rear wheel kilowatt then. Okay Tim, I'm just staging it up. I won't be far from running. This thing is going to be exceedingly loud. Okay, so you no doubt just heard me make quite a loud run in Ryan's drift car. When did we tune this? It was before the season, wasn't it? So it's about a year ago? Yeah. Okay. We've put on power, mainly due to the fuel system and the fuel mix. It was 98, I believe, last time it came in. Okay, so it's running an avgas mix now, and what I'm seeing is that it is quite rich. Leans out a bit at the top end, but it's put on like 5 kilowatt as a result. It's running all the timing that I've ever commanded out of it because it is so rich and burning nice and cleanly. So we're going to tidy up those air fuel ratios, and I'd like to think that I'm going to find about another 5, maybe 10 kilowatt out of it. The only problem is you're going to have to run the same sort of mix with avgas in it from now on if we go looking for that power. But I think that's a really good result out of a drift car that's competed for a season. And a bigger flowing exhaust would be better for it as well. But I think we'll just tidy this up today and yeah, keep posted on Ryan's results in the future. And I think you're going to hear it a lot more aggressively coming up as yeah, gets a few more tricks.